Hello, my name is Steve Bigelow with the Candlestick Forum. We're still seeing a downtrending market. So there's one sector still acting well, the energy sector. However, there's some very strong price moves. We're going to be looking for the Doji rule tomorrow. Look at where the Doji occurred, right smack dab on the 50-day moving average in the Dow. Stochastic still heading down. Very simple trading strategy. The Doji rule says the price of the or the trend will move in the direction of how they open after a Doji. If we wake up and things are trading lower, means we're still heading down. If they trade positive, means there's probably at least going to be a bounce for a day or two back up to the back up to the T line. Same scenario here on the NASDAQ. Doji, right smack dab off the 50. Stochastic's heading down. But once again, it will be very important to see how the pre-market futures open tomorrow. Either a bounce back up, at least to test the T-line, or a breakdown of this trend continuing to the downside. We're seeing that in individual stocks like the biggies, Apple, NVIDIA. A bunch of them are still trading lower. So Amazon, after it failed up here at the 200-day moving average, came down through the T-line, failed at the T-line. If it opens lower, if you're a day trader or you're buying puts, the next target would be the 50-day moving average, which could be a bearish doji sandwich. The magnitude of that candle there, if it opens lower, could be the same right there. So these type of indications or signals allow traders to have much more clarity as far as what is the next good price move, either long or short. So what we look for is the strongest moves. When we see a bearish best friend, we know there's a lot of force to the downside, and it's enhanced if the market's heading down. So you use that same analysis on our recommendation of a dumpling top, opposite of a fry pan bottom, with a shooting star gap down. And just like a dumpling or a fry pan bottom, what do we expect for a breakout? A strong price move. For a dumpling top, what do we expect for a strong price move to the downside? There's your bearish best friend with the prospects of taking this down into wave 3. So using the dumpling top, NVIDIA sold off today. You can see how this rounding top, the next price move could be down here and then possibly down into the trend channel. So knowing that there's a pattern allows investors to take advantage of not only the direction of the price move, but the magnitude of the price move. Dumpling top breakdown. You can see how they kept failing here at this level with the shadows to the upside. Probabilities are at least the first target in this area. So there's very common logic built into a pattern breakdown. Look how it failed right here at the T-line, doing kind of a bearish J-hook pattern. And the fact that they failed this level right here, coming out of a dumpling top, also produces much higher probabilities that the sellers are in control. So there's lots of good short positions. Obviously, if you're in a downtrending market, you want to go with the flow. However, crude oil prices are starting to bounce back up. Now, this has two ramifications. One, it's making the crude oil stocks that much, that whole sector a pretty strong buy. But two, if crude oil and gas prices, gasoline prices, were one of the major deterrents as far as inflation, and the inflation numbers were modified a little bit because crude oil backed off. If crude oil is starting to go back up, gas prices going back up, that means we're going to see the numbers on inflation go back up, which means Powell has to increase interest rates, which is not going to be good for the market. So one, we can use this as an analytical tool to say if crude oil prices keep going up, the inflation factor comes back into play, the markets are still going to sell off. Or two, we can see that there's lots of oil stocks. Our recommendation on WTI was based upon this J hook. After they gapped it up, coming out of a fry pan bottom, you stay long on these until you see a sell signal. ExxonMobil, same scenario. You're in an uptrend until you see a sell signal. So this type of information is just logic built into candlestick charts that once you learn the signals and patterns and understand what the rationale was for developing those signals and patterns as far as human nature, you got a much stronger grasp of what price moves are happening in specific sectors. So join us. You're giving out a free or 2-week free trial here at the end of the summer. This allows people to join our chat rooms and see what everybody else is finding as far as good trades, all looking for the same signals and patterns, and taking advantage of our picks. Again, we put out picks, not so everybody has picks, but so you can see what the rationale is on our 2-minute video every night to see why we're buying specific stocks. And we're going to be doing a training session Thursday, September 1st, on how you improve your probabilities of being in a good trade based upon logical entry strategies using candlestick analysis. That'll be it. We'll see you in the chat rooms.